If someone said to you before the weekend, hey, we've got something that's an extra tenth of a second, do you want it? You're going to say, yes, please, thank you.
You want to use every inch of racetrack they give you. You want to be right up against the walls at apexes, exiting all the way to the walls, nearly brushing them. You really have to maximize all the available track if you're going to find every bit of speed.
Racing and driving and competing is all about just making sure that you get that line right, that braking right, that real sort of groove through the corner.
Braking too early or braking too late, this is what makes a really great driver, is that judgment.
There's definitely an easy trap to be lured into of trying to brake too late and carrying too much speed into a corner and just killing your exit. If there's a straightaway coming up afterwards, there's a lot of time to be lost on the exit if you go too deep into the entry.
If you brake massively late and you come in like standing on the brakes, it's a big chance that you will have a big snap or a big push on the steer depending on the balance of the car, and that will obviously, when you start getting into massive steering locks and corrections, you're losing a lot of time.
If you are to brake a little bit too early, then you've cut all that speed off, and then maybe you're just then rolling into the apex. So much about racing and driving and competing is about the timing that you have to work with, and that just comes with time behind the wheel.
Obviously there's a lot of different drivers here in IndyCar. There's a lot of different style. To pick a Graham Rahal, he brakes really hard, really late, and he throttles really early, really aggressive.
I try to brake late and get the rotation done as early as possible. That is always my goal. It depends completely on the balance of the car.
Take a willpower, he coasts with a lot of speed mid-corner. It's very different styles, but they're both fast.
Some corners require, brake with zero coast phase, so you don't coast at all in the corner. Some corners require quite a long coast phase, and some cars turn really good off brake, some don't. Some cars turn really good on brake. So that's just a feel thing for the car. There's never a corner that is the same, never.
I try to always sort of go a bit over the limit, and so you kind of struggle to get into the apex. And then I know that, okay, at least I'm maximizing my braking point. I still get a good exit, but maybe I missed the apex with, a couple of millimeters.
Some apexes you can afford to miss a little bit, some you can't.
Yeah, obviously missing the apex definitely will always cost you time. It just depends by how much.
Yeah, you always need to look at what's after that corner. Is it a long straightaway? If it is, then think about the exit.
Yeah, when you've got a long straightaway coming after a corner, exit is absolutely everything. You'll happily sacrifice a little bit of entry speed, maybe even a little bit of minimum corner speed, to get to the throttle as soon as possible and get to full throttle as soon as possible. That's just going to be free time all the way down to the next corner.
Getting on the throttle, getting after it, super important. Everybody wants to maximize that speed off the corner and then all the way down that next straight. So yeah, if you are late, you're going to be slow.
Yeah, you think about corners like, turn 16 at COTA or the Carousel at Road America, and man, sometimes they can be flat, but sometimes you just need that little security blanket.
That's one of those ones where, drivers joke that you want to take your left foot and put it over your right and just hold it down.
The kink there at Road America, in some cars it's easy flat, other cars no way is it flat. But when you get there in certain vehicles, it's nearly flat.
We call it driver flat, right? And a lot of times what it does is it just transfers that tiny bit of weight in the car, gives you that little bit extra confidence to get right back to it and hold it the rest of the corner. You want to be able to say you've done it flat, but if you try and hold it flat and it goes wrong, it's a big mistake. If you just crack and sacrifice a little bit early and you can hold it the rest of the corner, that usually works out better.
If it's your qualifying lap and you're going to put it all together, you're going to try to do it flat out. But sometimes sliding is not faster. Sometimes it could be that a little lift will just keep you within the grip of the car, and you might be faster.
Being smooth with your style, and slow with your hands, and slow with your feet, and just trying to execute and getting that car just in the right spot. But yeah, it sometimes comes down to just doing it. You just got to, sucking it up and just getting it done.
The biggest thing you look for when overdriving is where in the corner your minimum speed happens. If it happens too late in the corner, it means you arrive too quick and it's going to hurt your exit.
You know, when you're overdriving, you're not being neat, you're making little mistakes. Some tracks really reward overdriving, some tracks really reward neat, you know, backing the corner up, being very neat and tidy.
You always want to be pushing more and going faster, and there are times where you're maybe able to go faster than the car's willing to let you. You can only go as fast as the car's willing to go. So being able to listen to your race car and kind of tune yourself and your driving to what the car's giving you to be as fast as you can be with that car that you have at that moment on that track and that corner is tough, but that's the important thing you got to be able to do.